All right, quick review of the piston ring compressor. I bought this at Harbor Freight. They're all in, and it did a great job. I didn't have any issue. Um, just don't hit that button and let her fly, because that thing is spring loaded and that will unwind in a hurry. So kind of try and control it, but yeah, it worked great. Everything's in. All the pistons are in. They're connected to the crank down here, and everything under here. They're all torqued, but I've got to do a 90-degree turn on each one. So they get torqued to 20 foot-pounds, and then they get a 90-degree turn on all of them. So again, I got to deal with that funky 90-degree turn thing that I've got. So, but we'll make it work. It is what it is. Throw some oil down the throat here before you push her in, and it should be good to go. All right, we're putting on the bottom pan gasket, pickup, and then putting on the oil pump here. I did have a bolt kind of round off, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to reuse it. I left the 3/8 that I had kind of smacked on there. They're just hard to come by, so I'm hoping to be able to reuse it. Otherwise, then I got to go down at some point and pull the part off of another truck, which means tearing apart an entire another engine just to get a bolt. So hopefully I'll be able to go ahead and reuse that. That's the plan anyway. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so here we are, putting that on. These get torqued down. What, 250 inch-pounds. Same with these top three, 250 inch-pounds. And yeah, so there we go. Oh, lower end is nearly done. However, I snapped my what do you call it? My chain tensioner, my primary here, which sucks because now I got to order another one. They're like $11 on Rock Auto, but man, you go on like O'Reilly's, they want like, and I want to say it was like $38, $39 for this, and you can literally get it on Rock Auto for like $11. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and order it, and hopefully it'll be in by the end of the week. I'll work on some other stuff. Still got to rebuild the heads and everything, put all the parts in the heads and stuff, so it'll give me something to do for now. So that's where we're at. All right, so we've got oil pan on. Oil pan's on. I do have the oil pump in, and I was able to get that bolt torqued down to the right torque and then get the nut off of it. So I'm sorry, the bit off of it. And yeah, I mean, ideally it would have been great to be able to replace it, but I'll be able to get it off again just with the 3/8 instead. So it is what it is at this point. Everything's torqued down. So right now we're just, like I said, just put this on. These are all torqued down. These get 132 inch-pounds all the way around. That stud does go there because I believe, if I remember right, a connector connects onto this on the bottom. Has a little slide-on grabber. But everything's torqued down and good to go. So be flipping the motor over. Like I said, though, that chain tensioner, the main tensioner on the front here, broke, so I got to order that. But we're gonna switch gears and we'll start working on the heads, and pull out the parts, pull off the parts from this, and get them put on the other ones, and get the other ones ready to roll. So that way, when the tensioner comes in, we're just ready to go ahead and put them in. Just throwing away parts as we don't need them, so that's a good thing. And we'll scrap them, get what money we can back out of them. So there we are. Parts are disappearing. That's a good thing. Gaining table space. That's the key. So everything's going on well, going on smooth. So I did, like I said earlier, before when I set that, I went ahead and trimmed that off, and then I'll do the same thing here. I couldn't remember where the actual bed plate hit, so trim it off and make it look pretty. I'm gonna leave this. The factory, when you pull it the bed plate off, you'll see from the factory they actually leave all that. I could probably take it off, but I'm just gonna leave it. No sense in messing with it. I'm obviously got to shave this off and this, put the timing chain cover on. That will require that to be cleaned off, and then I'll do the same back here. Clean this area next to the main seal. That way when we hook everything back up to the transmission and you put the dust cover over here and all that stuff, it all looks good. It'll all sit tight and seal up right. So yeah, so we're knocking it out slowly but surely. All right, so we ordered the I ordered the other part, the chain tensioner, or the timing chain tensioner. And so I'm gonna go ahead and start on some other parts, like I said. So is the new head, one of. So this, I'm gonna start robbing the parts off of this. But man, it just looks so good. This, I just literally just unbagged it, unboxed it, and these all come on it. They are all numbered like they should be. Everything's cool, everything's great. You got your guides for your valves, yeah, it's pretty awesome. So this thing does come with a I think they call it the EGR block plate. That's what this is. I guess some models, depending on your vehicle and maybe year, have an EGR that hooks up here. Mine does not. This is the original. It is completely blocked off. It does not even have screw holes or bolt holes. So yeah, so that clearly doesn't have it. And so yeah, going forward, that's easy enough. Block it off right there. Boom, done. So I will need to get. This is one of the reasons I bought both. This one, actually, I broke a bolt off. And it was already completely in the vehicle, just putting on the last couple parts, and it snapped a bolt. That was the last time that I did the head gaskets. And yeah, I did the bush fix. Went down and got the smallest C-clamp you could get. I put it on there and drove it like that for 3 years. 2 years. 2.5 years, something like that. Maybe 3 years, and it never leaked. It ran like a champ. Never had a problem. So that's where we're at. Robbed that, put it on here, put some thread sealant on there, and then put the EGR block plate on there. And that was the other thing I was going to tell you. This actually is part of the, I believe, part of the EGR, and that's why they block it off. It goes to roughly, I think, the same area. But yeah, this just dead ends under there. So I just cranked her in until she got, really tight, and she'll be good to go. Block plates in. I just tightened those down really good. I didn't really torque them down. I didn't have any specs on it. So everything's off of the head over here. I put the little valve seals in there. Those are in, and I already checked. These things glide nice and good inside the hole, so we're good there. Last thing I think I got to steal, I've got to steal out of here are the all of the spark plugs, and then we'll be good to go on the head on this one. And then I'm going to start assembling. I'm going to go ahead and put all these in, and then we got to put our keepers on it. I do have a little tool. There's a bunch of different tricks and all this crazy stuff out there on the internet. So this thing works really well. I've used it several times. I used it to take it apart, and used it to take it apart and put it together last time when I did the valve, the head gaskets. So this thing, literally, you've got your cam that sits over top here. It hooks underneath. It holds one of the lobe right between the two arms, and then you put your 3/8 inch ratchet. We just got a crazy bird that just decided to start singing. And this then goes down around the valve here, and then you compress the spring with the spring keeper on it. I think it's called the keeper spring, whatever it is. on top. It compresses the spring. Then you have the valve, the little keepers that go inside the little grooves here. And it's going to be way the heck easier now that when the head's out. The last time I did it, I had the head in, and it was a real pain in the butt, because on the Dodge, the Ram, these back several valves on both sides are blocked because the firewall comes pretty close to the valve. Sorry, to the cylinder. Jeez, oh Pete, to the to the head. Wow. Been a long day. And so getting a ratchet in there and getting it, down, and then you're having to hold it down while you're then putting the keepers on, and it's a pain in the butt. It took me a little while, and I'm telling you, if you drop one, they disappear. So, crazy side note, one of these on the original, I believe it was this one, when I pulled the head off, found that this one only had one keeper, which I thought was odd because I couldn't find it anywhere. And it didn't cause any damage. It looks like it dropped right down one of the oil returns. And I happened to find it in the oil pan. Just earlier today, I was putting on the oil pan and found it down in the oil catch. So, yeah. It avoided a ton of headache. It didn't cause any damage at all. So, we should be good to go. All right. So, I've got the valves in, and springs are set in place. I was just going to kind of give you a little bit of better idea of how this little tool works. So it goes around. It doesn't damage any of the lobe. It doesn't touch the lobe. It actually goes on the side of the lobe, just like that. And then it seats down around. You can see it right there, down around the spring, okay? And then when you push this down, when you put a ratchet on it, it has the torque backwards to push. You can see I'm kind of already doing it just by hand, like that, and it pushes up against the cam, and the lobes in between it. And so then once it gets down below where you put the keepers in, you can drop the keepers in, and then that top of the spring there, the retainer for the spring, it actually has, like, it's angled. So if you look at this thing particularly right here, so you can see it's angled already, just like that. That's the internal shape of it. So what it will do is the two will slide together. They'll lock around it. If you put a little bit of oil on it, it'll actually kind of suck itself right to the valve stem, and or shaft, or whatever you want to call it. And then it'll kind of hold itself in place while the spring comes back up. And then once it's there, it pinches it, and that's done. And then that will stick above, and you'll actually have your rocker arm. I gotta hold all of them in here. You'll have your rocker arm that'll sit on top of that, and you have your lifter over here as well, the hydraulic lifter that'll go in here. And so that'll sit there, and that'll allow it to go back and forth. So anyway, a little bit better representation how it works. This is an old tool. I've had it for several years now. I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember the company name, but that is the part number. It comes with two different part numbers. It's for there you go, I think, what is that, 3747-2, 3747-1. There's another one of these that they use for another engine. I can't remember which one it is, but that's the one you need, and it works really well. It's pretty simple to use. All of the springs are in place. The valves are hooked up. A little bit of something to keep in mind. It is a pain in the freaking butt. It will piss you off because they will slip off. They will fall because you got to reach underneath and kind of let them fall in place. You can try pliers. They got in the way. The only thing I think that really helped well get a plastic, non-metal, and the reason I say that is because they end up getting a little bit magnetized messing with them. And that way you can move these around, and that way when you pull it away, it doesn't pull the little retainer with it, the little keeper. Second little side note, under each valve that you're working on, I just wadded up a bunch of paper towel, and that keeps this, because every time you push this down, it wants to drop the actual valve down, and then you're just fighting with it the whole frickin' time. So yeah, needless to say, it's annoying, but it works. That tool works as good as it can, and you just kind of have to be a little patient, of which I'm not that great at, and just kind of keep putting them in until you kind of got to work with, you got to kind of move it up and down with the tool, and to kind of help the thing seat. And you want to get them seated. There's 3 little spots, and you get them seated on there, and then kind of let that thing up slowly so that they can kind of guide themselves. They'll pinch as they go up, and then they'll get to seat just like that. So yeah, it's a pain, but it works. So just keep at it. On to the rockers and the lifters, and then we should be good. That's all in. I went ahead and assembly lube on all of the lobes, so they're ready to roll. The cam's in, everything's torqued down. The top bolts here, 100 inch-pounds. That's pretty much it. These just slide in place. What I did before, I loosened all of these up so I could lift the cam up, dropped all my rockers and my lifters in, and then hand tightened everything back down. Went back through torque sequence, starting to center, work out. So here, and then the last 2 on each end. Again, 100 inch-pounds, and that's it. So this head is pretty much ready. I went ahead and dropped spark plugs in, and so yeah, this head is ready to be installed, actually. So technically I could do it right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and assemble the other head as well and get her completely ready to go for me. That way I don't have to stop in the middle and then go do the other one at the same time. So I'm gonna knock them both out, get as frustrated as I can with the little keepers, and yeah, it'll be fun. Good times. All right, we are on, I don't know what day, whatever, a couple days in, just working on the motor. Many days in working on the truck, but the motor being broke down, we're a couple days in now. So that's where we're at with it. We are completely broke down. We're actually putting together the heads. So we are going to start on numero dos, number 2. This one here, we're going to start stealing parts. And then we're going to start making more parts disappear. So that's a good thing. And yeah, do away with this. That was the valve seat and the valve that it came from. So all new valves, all the seats are in it. I mean, it's great. So anyway, yeah, my boxes of parts. So pretty cool. Okay, so second head is stripped of all those parts. I cleaned them all up so that they kind of look good going in on that brand new head, because it is very bright aluminum. So yeah, that here is actually to access a little tiny bolt right here. You can't get to it unless you take that out, but that plug actually has threads in it for another part that hooks to the front of that. So you got to have it in there, but it also blocks off access to this, which is a chain tensioner, or I'm saying a chain guide. So you got to have that. On the back side here, you had your grounding strap, which I got to get a new one. It actually broke off during the removal. It was already almost broke. I think it was sitting there waving in the wind as it's driving down the road. Spark plugs are out. Everything else, all these guides and everything, all these you know, these little valve gaskets and stuff like that, those are all going to stay. I'm just going to leave them. I'm not going to take them out because I got brand new ones that came in the kit. So onward and upward. Here we go. Man, ain't that pretty? Look at that. So that's just unbagged it. All the caps are on. You know, it's got the guides already in. So, you know, it doesn't say it when you order it. That was the other thing. I actually have to return seats and the valve guides because I didn't know it came with them. So I had ordered them, and then I wasn't sure how I was going to even put them in. So I was pleasantly surprised when I got the head and all of the guides and everything were in it. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to order them, and that way you won't have to return them. So, but you know, move money back in the pocket, it's all good. So, yeah, so here we go. Start putting on parts. Scavenged all the parts and put them on. Again, you'll want to put thread sealant on the tube there. I'll probably end up putting it on here as well. I don't think it's necessary, but they're just, you know, they're machine threads, or so they're, you know, there's, I don't know. It didn't have it on it when I originally took it off, but I'm going to go ahead and put it on there just to be on the safe side. It dead ends like a plug inside here. And yeah, so I'll put it on there, put it at least a little bit on there just to be on the safe side. But these, torque these down, I will torque these down to 100 inch-pounds, and this head will be set as well. I'll just put this on for now, just to kind of get it up out of the way and make sure that it stays with its home. So that would be the sprocket there, and then I'll put the plugs in and we'll be all good with this head.